Probably you can relate, but I've spent a lot of time at home during this coronavirus pandemic, shut in with all my stuff. And the longer that I spent at home, the more I started to feel this weight of all my stuff. So I started decluttering, getting rid of the things that I didn't need, and I rearranged my home into a cozier place where I could sit out the lockdowns. But I'm not the only one who deals with viruses by decluttering. It turns out every single cell in you can do the same. Because just like your home, cells can accumulate unwanted stuff, but for cells, that stuff can be viruses. Luckily, in order to deal with this unwanted cellular clutter, a system for cellular decluttering has evolved. It's called autophagy, and my research focuses on better understanding autophagy in order to fine-tune it during infections with viruses like HIV, not to scale. So, simply put, I want to help your cells declutter HIV. But how would that work? Well, decluttering a cell works in pretty much the same way as decluttering a home. It starts with the formation of a trash bag inside the cell that can enclose all that unwanted stuff, break it into little pieces, and send it to the dump. And for us, the cell's trash became our treasure, because when we looked inside of it, we discovered that some human cells were able to declutter HIV this way, all on their own. And this is amazing because, keep in mind, HIV is a virus for which we have no cure. Normally, once it gets into a cell, it's there to stay. So the fact that some of our cells could already declutter HIV all on their own gave us an idea that maybe we could train the rest of our cells to do it too. So that's what I set out to test. I took pieces of human tissue, like skin, for example, that were infected with HIV, and I treated them with different drugs that could boost autophagy to see if those drugs could tell the cells in the tissue, specifically to declutter HIV. And to make a long story short, what I found was yes, these drugs were able to not only help cells declutter HIV, but they could also prevent infection altogether, because the last thing you want if you've just decluttered your home is to let more junk in. So our research is important because not only do we show that helping cells declutter can be a good strategy for preventing, treating, and maybe eventually even curing HIV, but what I didn't tell you is that for this project, I also developed a whole new method for finding new drugs that can help us against new viruses in the future. And that's exactly what I'm on to next. So you can stay tuned for more research from our lab on how to declutter your viruses.